Ladies and gentlemen, we are live for a very important joint address tonight. It's basically like a State of the Union, not exactly because Trump just got elected. This is a very important address Donald Trump is going to be giving to all of us. We need to listen up for this. This is going to be very good. This is going to be on the revival of nationalism within the United States. He's going to touch on all the important topics, the Middle East, Israel. What's up, guys? What is going on? Yeah, man, I don't know about all those emojis, bro. Come on. I'm on a generational run. That's right. Good to see you guys. It's good to see you. It's gonna start at 9 o'clock, so we got like a pregame for an hour, and then it starts. But let me just turn this to mute and then make sure that this is the right thing. Yeah, so I'll just be using C-SPAN. I think it'll be fine. I don't think it'll be a problem. These things are touchy when it comes to streaming these, but yeah, just so everyone knows, I'll be using C-SPAN. What's up, Spectacular? I haven't seen you in a while, man. What's going on? First live you've been able to catch? Yeah, I've been doing a lot of live streams, man. Like I'm like a streamer, honestly. Wow, they actually have it on here too. That's hilarious. It's pretty funny. They're able to incorporate it on Polymarket. Crypto, Bitcoin, possibly going to mention that. Talking about the... I'll go through all these topics and just give my predictions. So yeah, because of the reserve that Trump announced earlier in the week, he might mention it. NATO, he'll probably talk about NATO and the situation with Europe and how they are reacting to the war and how he wants the war to be over, not escalated. Epstein, he'll probably try and stay away from that because that's not been a good topic for the administration because of the botched files release unless they got some big news on it. Ukraine will be mentioned, I'm sure. The trans stuff will probably be mentioned. It's a winning topic for Republicans. Zelensky, there's the idea that Trump announces the mineral deal tonight, and so he probably will mention Zelensky. Term limit, I guess the idea of him running for another term. Inflation 10 times. You can't really predict how many times he's going to say inflation. DEI, talking about getting rid of DEI probably. Peace, million, beautiful, terrible tariff, mandate, Russia, China, Mexico, Canada with the tariff war going on with them. AI, Department of Government Efficiency he's going to brag about, I'm sure. Elon, Greenland, and I should have bought that Greenland coin again. This is what I should have done. We'll see if he mentions Greenland. That'd be big. It's important for Trump to address the American people on Greenland, and the people need to be ready for the annexation of Greenland. I agree. Panama, apparently BlackRock has bought up. You guys see the big news on Panama. So the two ports that were very important that China had control of are being sold off to BlackRock for $23 billion. Which is not ideal, but possibly maybe better than China owning them. Putin, ceasefire in both wars. Hamas, mineral deal, unemployment, retard, 1% chance. Gulf of America, probably. He'll probably mention that. It starts at 9 o'clock, guys. Eggs? Yeah, I don't think he'll mention eggs. It's not good for the administration. China plus five times is an easy buy. It's impossible to say, oh, he's going to say a certain word like X number of times. They're going to be highlighting all the services that Americans might not be getting. Yeah, I'm looking for no tax on crypto. Imagine he announces that tonight. What would that do for the market? My goodness. The market would go crazy. I'd love to get an update on the Epstein files. I stopped streaming yesterday, and then there was a major update. There's a video playing in the background. Yeah, that's my bad. I just couldn't hear it. That's why. Should be gone now. How many times he mentions Canada? Probably there's going to be a heavy emphasis on this tariff situation. He said he's upping the tariffs because Canada's hitting back with their retaliation. When are the JFK files released? It's impossible to say an exact time. They've been kind of going from one to the next, so they're on Epstein right now. I think JFK is going to come after Epstein, so they'll go to the JFK stuff. I mean, people think they're never going to be released, but I can just tell you there'll probably be a public focus on the JFK stuff within 2 or 3 weeks, depending on if we get anything. I mean, Pam Bondi broke news and said, yeah, I mean, they were holding it, we're suing them, and I think she said there's like a boatload of files that are coming out. Trump will hopefully announce the mineral deal, peace deal tonight. Well, I don't know about peace deal, but the mineral deal is a step in the direction for a ceasefire and then for a peace deal. President is always about 45 minutes late, so won't start speaking until around 10. Zero tax. Well, I mean, it depends. It's 9 o'clock is already relatively late for the East Coast. But, I mean, this is like a big thing. So they might start like 9:30. Good entry on the Epstein coin. I'm not. The thing is, people don't like when I talk about coins. We'll talk about coins after this speech because people are they're gonna leave. But I mean, it's possibly is a good entry, honestly, man. But I'm still in it. I'm trying to at least get my money back for it. Honestly, it's not been good. 10-day streak. Yeah, it's a big streak for me. I'm on a 10-day streak. There's I get like a what is a 10 kill streak in COD? You get like a chopper gunner, I think 11 kill streak. It starts at supposedly 9 o'clock, but yeah, some people have been saying it's probably not going to start till after 9 because they're going to do the Trump entrance. Depending on when he gets there, 9-ish, I would say 9:30, maybe 9-ish. Studying for a professional engineering test. Good luck, man. We're leaving NATO. Trump hasn't made an official statement on NATO, like leaving NATO in a while, but he's definitely been more of the opinion that NATO is not necessary for the United States. And then Musk made a statement that agreeing that we should leave NATO, which is going to resonate with Trump. It's not like they're going to have a disagreement. And just, I know what Trump has said about NATO. There's some trepidation on continuing NATO for the United States, especially considering Europe and just how far left they are compared to the United States. RB, what's up, man? Likely going to be a lot of Dem protests. Fuck them. They lost. These people don't even, I don't even know what they're protesting. They're like, oh my God, they're eliminating government debt. They're getting rid of jobs. Yeah, we have to get rid of jobs. We're $36 trillion in debt, you dumbass. I mean, this is what has to happen. Why is term limits a betting topic? It's because the idea that Trump would joke about running for another term, so he would mention term limits in some form. That I would imagine that's why. But it's unlikely Trump would bring that up, and I mean, this is just the start to his presidency. Why would Florida investigate the Tates? There's a lot of Republicans that don't like the Tates. I don't know the deal with their current situation in terms of the courts, so I really don't want to comment on it. It doesn't really interest me that much. I don't. What's up? How have you been, Alex? I've been just grinding streams, honestly, man. Trump consolidated as much of the North American market back into the U.S. Canada doesn't seem to understand. Well, I think Canada understands, but for Canada, there's this, like, they're going to be bullied, man. And they could either give in right now or they can give in 3 months. It's going to be worse if they give in 3 months, but it looks like they're going to do this charade to try and turn the media and the American people against tariffs. The idea is the Canadians convincing the American people that nobody wins in a trade war. It's bad for both sides, when in reality, it's a lot worse. It's like 100 times worse for Canada. They're so much more reliant on us buying from them than we are. And really, when you're talking about these premiers from Canada coming out saying we're shutting off power. I mean, we already should be independent of Canada anyways. So this is a wake-up call for the United States. We should not need Canada to power homes in the United States. And, I mean, we can still have a good relationship with Canada, but they're doing this whole tough guy thing, and the routine can only work for so long. The routine only works for as long as your economy is able to stay afloat. It's like 20% of their GDP comes from selling to the United States, and for us, it's like 2%, or I think it's 1%. It's like 1% to Canada, 1% to Mexico of our GDP is reliant on both of those countries, meaning if we get tariffed by them, it's going to have a very little impact on our economy because our economy is so diverse. Did you see the liberal lady that was giving the counter to what Trump said? I talked about it here. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Deliver their response to so we'll have to react to this. This is a joke. You even admitted the fentanyl excuse was BS for Canada. Well, I just didn't know why it is a BS excuse. It's not the fentanyl problem with the Canadian border would not warrant a massive tariff like that. But I just didn't know what Trump was doing. So how am I supposed to explain it other than saying I don't know? It doesn't really make sense. Yeah, this is like, but like you would think the Democrats. Did you guys see? How about this? This type of grift is, and you know what? I guess we have to give them credit for like talking and all this stuff. But guess who Gavin Newsom had on and as his first guest? Charlie Kirk. Oh my goodness, the opposing sides are able to come together and have a common ground. But it's just all this that bullshit. I shouldn't complain about that, but it's just like I thought it was funny that Gavin Newsom had on Charlie Kirk, and you know it's going to be like Gavin Newsom trying to appear as like a moderate Democrat. Who's that hottie? Are we mogging or trolling Canada? I think Trump wants to significantly reduce the trade deal, get a better trade deal or renegotiate. I still think that's probably what it is, but Trump, you never know. Trump is certainly going to probably troll Canada tonight about the 51st state, Governor Trudeau. That's probably all. That's what very likely will be happening. Tommy, that stream is not coming anytime soon. You take a look at the field with delusional women my age. Joe Rogan isn't happy about Gavin Newsom. Well, Joe Rogan has always talked about Gavin Newsom, why he left California. He lived in California, Rogan did. Did you actually watch it? I'd be interested. I don't think it's been. I don't think it's been released yet. I don't think that podcast has been released. I know, but it's this thing to where Newsom tries to appear more independent. I mean, Newsom is trying to already position himself for 28. It'll never work with Newsom though. He's from California. X is a cesspool. I mean, it's always a cesspool. You know. I'm just waiting for this to start. And we'll see what Trump ends up saying. It'll probably normally these are like an hour long, maybe an hour 30, depends. But Trump might start speaking a little bit later. What happened to the security dude? Maxine Waters was harassing. He got like a massive raise. Yeah, he's running for Congress now. No, I'm kidding. The Trump Zelensky AI fights are funny. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that with the AI where they'll play out actual scenes like from photos. They're getting a little bit better. There's still some problems with it. When is it scheduled to start? It's scheduled to start at 9 o'clock. So in about 40 minutes. About 45 minutes. I don't know why I have these two. I have two computers. This computer says it's 7 minutes ahead. I don't know why this computer is 7 minutes ahead. It annoys me. I have to change that. Zelensky launching a coin. That would be hilarious if he did. I saw a tweet. It's like you don't know what to believe, but I did see a tweet. It said Vladimir Zelensky possibly going to launch a meme coin to help fund the war effort. Yeah, maybe one of my mods can pin when it's supposed to start, or these people are just trolling me. I don't know, or they just keep joining and asking the same question. You used to be a liberal. I was never a liberal. Did you see the clip of Chuck Schumer, Elizabeth Warren, Cory Booker? Well, it was all of them. They all did the exact same thing. Yeah, I think it's on here. Huh.
Prices down starting on day one.
So they're given the exact same script. I can't listen to that anymore. But it's like they get the same script. It's all the same thing with Democratic influencers too. They give them a script and then, they just recite it word for word. Then they change like a few words around. They're talking about the prices. Well, yeah, it takes longer. People have to know, and they have to know this. This is dumb. Like, we're going to sit here and argue about the economy and the current prices, and it doesn't happen in 40 days. It just doesn't. And I know people want it to happen immediately with Trump, and it's supposed to be this great thing. It takes time. People don't want to hear that, though. I get it. I get people don't want to hear that, but this is just the dynamics of the economy. When you implement changes into it, especially something like tariffs, it's going to take time to see the domestic production really affect the overall GDP. $10 for 10 days, generational run. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a big run here, man. This is something crazy. You know, the old ass senators hate the well, they also look really bad. Like Chuck Schumer doing a video just was out of place. But they have to do it. They're trying to like relate to younger people with this because they lost a lot of traction with young people during this last election. So there's a heavy emphasis. That's why you've got Newsom doing this new podcast, trying to talk to people, trying to talk to conservative influencers, things like that. Ukraine coin. Yeah, you're right. The Ukraine coin would dump on the libs. The libs would buy it. They're like, oh, we got to help fund the war effort. And then Zelensky just pulls the rug. I give Zelensky credit for that. Thank you, $5 donation. We need Canadian products. My vacuum cleaner broke. Then I put a Canadian flag sticker on it, and it started sucking again. But look, the Canadians right now they're lying to themselves if they think again, it's just propaganda. All they can do is scream for like 3 weeks about how, we're going to stick it to the Americans. Your economy is going to suffer way more than ours is. We know this. The people of America know this. We will easily win this. And then, listen, we'll either get a better trade deal with Canada or we will get money through the tariffs and then we can get rid of either the property tax or the state income tax. I think that's probably the goal. Could you do a deep dive as far as the Ukraine minerals, as of what we know, where they are, how reliable that is, and what U.S. companies might go there? Well, I think that's supposed to come out. We're going to have to get the details of the amount of money we're in minerals we're going to be getting. I agree. I need to look into it. I mean, I did look into it. The problem is a lot of the minerals are in the Donbass region, which is controlled by Russia, but there still are a lot. There's mineral deposits in central Ukraine and western Ukraine. I've seen maps of it. But yeah, I mean, we're going to have investment to be able to get those out. You are right. So that's all going to have to be logistically thought out in this minerals deal that may or may not be announced tonight. If Trump announces it, then it'll just be like the bare bones of it. He's not going to explain the whole deal, but then I think it'll be on Twitter for everyone. But then I also heard that no, there's no minerals deal tonight. I've heard both sides. I don't know, but the minerals deal is going to have to come for Ukraine. It has to happen for Ukraine. Now, if Trump wants to say no thanks because it tethers the United States to the Ukraine area, that's something that might happen as well. But it's like Ukraine needs this to happen. They should want it to happen. Did he sign the mineral deal today? There was reports that he did, but we don't know for sure. At least I don't know for sure. You know, with Twitter, with X, it's this thing with these accounts. They got like 1.6 million follow. Remember the AI video of Zelensky? Fuck him. That was a great video. You have to pee. Listen, normally I have to piss about an hour 30 into these streams. I can't do that. I'll miss the speech because he's gonna be speaking at like 9:30. Will you spare me some change? Go launch a meme coin and tell me the contract address before you tweet it out. That would be a good idea, Vladimir. What worries me about Ukraine minerals is that if you compare it to Greenland minerals, which would also be a challenge, it's much more crazier, riskier, more expensive. What, because of where it's located, right next to Russia? I mean, Greenland, we don't really know because a lot of it is unexplored or very sparsely explored. But it's mostly the only areas you can even extract on Greenland right now are the coasts because the island is a glacier. But the Greenland situation has to happen. It's very important. I've talked about it a number of times, and the dynamic is it just comes down to like this Europe. I consider it like European pearl clutching. Like, oh, you can't do that. That's horrible. Well, no. Why are they controlled by Denmark when they want to be independent from Denmark? It doesn't make any sense. But how about how look at Denmark here. Let me show you something. Most Europeans feel Ukraine is not getting enough Western support. Not enough support in red. Denmark, they've been terrible. I mean, what is with these people of Denmark, man? They've been horrible with the whole Greenland situation. They've been terrible with this. They're saying that they want the United States to give more support. We've already given the most by far. Can you only see super chats? No, I mean, that's only when I get just bombarded. Then I have to switch it to only super chats because then I have to respond to all of them. Yeah, I'll be streaming the speech, but it doesn't start yet. See, like, look at this.
How would you describe the mood up there, Mr. Clark?
Here, let me refresh this.
Voters for deporting immigrants with a criminal history, 81%, according to this poll, supporting that. 76.
Renaming the Gulf of America, 39%, but that's such a non-issue anyways. And that enables Trump the offshore drilling because he changed the name when Biden banned, I actually don't know if that's true, but Biden banned offshore drilling in the Gulf of Mexico and then Trump changed the name. This is more, there's no way this is 69% support. This is like 80% support. Banning biological males from female sports. This is great. This is amazing to see. The Doge has a 76% approval rating. Deporting immigrants in general is like a 70% approval. That's the thing. It's shifted with independence, so it's good. Well, guys, here it is. 4 cents in a dream. Hell no. I can't even do it. I don't have a VPN. If public opinion is only underwater for Gulf of America, Trump is doing fantastic. Yeah, that was a really good poll. Liberals will dispute that poll on Doge. I mean, if you've got like an 80% approval on Doge, it's very good, but it's not that high. I mean, because at least 30% are gonna say no. D Money, what's up, man? Who does the government poll for question? I know, I don't even know. I never get questioned by any of this stuff. It's just phone calls, online surveys. We will have a new administration up here. You're talking about in Canada. I mean, I think the Conservative Party is going to win. It's very likely. Why no public poll on tariffs? I mean, there definitely is public polling on tariffs. It just wasn't that poll. I mean, the tariffs, people have to understand what the tariffs are utilized for, and you have to allow these tariffs to either go into place or they're going to be utilized for negotiations in a trade renegotiation. Are we expecting any big announcements tonight? There could be a big announcement about Epstein. There's a big announcement again about the minerals deal. Maybe there's rumors that Trump is going to announce the minerals deal tonight with Ukraine, which will help lead to a ceasefire with Russia. Once we get that minerals deal, then they can start doing that, because then Ukraine will have more support and feel more safe with the United States involved with that area for a while. Do I hate Canada? I don't hate Canada, no. I mean, they're just liberal. I mean, they're just not much of a threat. It's more of a business-type relationship for Trump and Canada. And if we can extract them and get a better deal, and it's what Trump is going to do because he's a businessman. Prediction for Trump's address, it's going to be heavy nationalism, patriotism, and discussing the Doge and the savings and the exposing the government waste. It's going to be, he's going to hit on everything that they've done, and this is really an hour and a half he can just go. But apparently there's been reports by Axios, liberals within Congress are going to get up and scream. So we'll have to see if that happens. You need to see a communist bow at Tim Walz, but I don't know. I can't do it as good as Tim Walz. That's a signature move right there. Trump meme coin mentioned. I don't think he'd do that. This is like important to do. I mean, he might do it to try and, to pump the price. Come on, we need something with crypto. He should announce no tax on crypto, no capital gains tax. That would pump crypto for sure if he announced that live. But I mean, is it going to be a real pump? Because the last one, it came right back down. They said they're going to throw eggs at him. They're certainly not going to do that. There's probably going to be some people agitating. Remember Nancy Pelosi? Probably the childish thing I've ever seen. Just pathetic, like worse acting, like ripping up the script, acting like it wasn't planned. The most ridiculous thing. How many minutes before the speech? It's going to hopefully start at 9, but maybe a little bit later than 9. You think Canada could be a threat in 2028 because Dems and Canada are planning to create a few breakaway states on the... What do you mean breakaway states? It would just be Washington. Those other states, that Washington and Minnesota, the other states are conservative. No, it has not started yet. It's
at the time that this Harvard Harris poll was taken.
Association.
Thank you.
Can you guys hear this or no? Tell me if you still hear them talking. I feel, I don't know why it's like, I don't think you should hear them, but because I did turn it off. The Please coin went to 20 million. Are you serious? I didn't even check it. I'll have to check it after this speech. No, you can't. Okay. So then I can just leave it on this then. Because I was wondering, I was like, whoa. Well, I'm getting some yeses, some nos. Yeah, come on now. Come on. Oh, there's Elon. Is Elon going to be speaking? Legalize comedy. Yeah, Elon was wearing a suit. There's Trump. Trump and Melania getting in the same, getting in the beast with Elon. He'll definitely give a big shout out to Elon, I'm sure, with the Department of Government Efficiency. So Trump is headed to give the speech right now. They're going to give him a big round of applause when he enters, of course. Where's Vance? I don't know if he already came out or not. BlackRock buying the ports in Panama from China. I know, I saw that. I was like, you're kidding me. Vance putting on his eyeliner. I mean, you see the Vance memes are crazy. What's going on with the amount of Vance memes now? I mean, let me just check this really quickly. Is this it? How does this thing even do this? This is remarkable. Alright, I'll get off of it. I'm just surprised that coin went to that. Will Trump smack talk Zelensky? I mean, he might announce the minerals deal. If he announces the minerals deal, then there's probably not going to be a lot of smack talk. He's probably going to say it's good that we got this done and agreed to. Wheeze. that's the coin name. Because it's the Vance memes. Kanye West coin dropping soon. Dude, we got to stop talking about that. It's every day people bring it up. I don't even care. I mean, I'll see what happens when it drops. I'm not going to buy it. It's going to tank. Vance memes are insane. There's Vance right there. So we'll see Vance. We'll see Mike. What about Mike Johnson coin? Can't believe there's a Mike Johnson coin. The most pathetic thing. Mike Johnson. Will you talk during the Trump speech? Not really. I'll try and shut up because people don't want to hear me talk. But I don't want to talk either. I don't want to just, we got to let Trump speak. And going to the canal soon, you're going to look American. You're going to the Panama Canal? That's as a vacation spot? You're going to Panama? Or are you just crossing through? The Panama Canal Zone. The Kanye coin is going to retire you. GTA 6 coin is going to retire me. Is it a good time to buy stocks since everything has gone down? Yeah, I would say it's a very good time. I think Trump's going to have the economy in an amazing place in 2 years. It's going to take time. It certainly is going to take time. And I warned people, I said there might be an immediate... when you've got uncertainty like this, it's going to be a problem short term. But it's obvious this is a long-term plan. The economy is going to be in a much better place, I can pretty much guarantee, unless there's some crazy global situation nobody could see coming. Because think about it, you're going to end the wars. That's going to help. And the uncertainty is going to fade. I think the tariffs might get taken care of themselves, depending on if Canada says we can't deal with this anymore. So there might be a renegotiation, and the tariffs might go away in general. So I think it's a good time to be buying right now in general. I don't buy any stocks, though. I'm just what I would do. 1.2K. That's the thing. You can't be really talking about crypto. You got 1.2K. Well, we get down back after the speech. But I want to see the lady, the black lady, doing a reaction to the speech. She's gonna be like, Doge, that is ratchet. Doge, are you kidding me? You're telling me you're getting rid of government waste? Damn you. You're getting rid of government waste? Come on, guys. We can't get... Vance bought a lot of Walmart stock, just saying. Really, he did? Who was the... There was a congressman that was buying meme coins. It was pretty funny. And then he's like, I'm in these trenches. You're down 1K from the DJT. The actual stock, or the DJT stock? Like the Trump media stock? Yeah, I'm sure it'll get... I mean, the stock market will see better days during the Trump administration for sure. This is just a time of uncertainty, so it's going to trade lower. But this is the patience that's required. But the liberals can say whatever they want. Just give it time, give it... Trump will get the economy in a good place. We got faith in him. I just want to see if any... I want to see AOC do something. What if AOC started screaming? How come you never talk about Vivek? I mean, what's there to talk about? I know he's running. He's not... He's done some things like... The thing that he said about the... There's been some tough things with Vivek recently. Let's just say that. It's going to take time. I know nobody wants to hear it, but that's just the reality. Yeah, we already saw Elon. He was in the same motorcade as Trump. So Elon's definitely going to be there. Elon's going to be in... What if Elon was in the background? They replaced Mike Johnson with Elon? No, that's not good. That's not a good idea. Yang. Remember Yang Gang? Yeah, he just does Twitter polls now. Andrew Yang. Mike Pence in hiding. What is Trump gonna do if Crockett interrupts? Embarrass her. You should really watch deck screener for any movement during the speech. It always seems to happen. What do you mean any movement? On what coin? The Epstein coin? Ginger coin to the moon. DG2. Here comes JD Vance. Is that loud enough or not? I'm trying to get the sound exactly right. Oh, there's Schumer. You can see Schumer's head from a mile away. Ugh. What? It's good. It's perfect. All right. Yeah, I'll just leave it like this.
And you can see the two Senate.
And then when I mute it, I'll just mute it.
Chuck Schumer.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. The Vegas claps, yeah, by liberals.
Republicans, Dick Durbin, 80 years old, in the leadership there, the gentleman in the gray hair in the back and the blue shirt. He was just reelected in 2020, and so he will be up in 26.
Hey, the cockroach. Yeah, Schumer does. I mean, he is a cockroach. He looks like a cockroach. You could see his forehead just lurking in the background behind Vance. I was like, it's Klobuchar is so annoying. Yeah, she'll be running in 2028 and she'll bow out after like one debate. It's obvious with these people, you can tell. Not one more cent to Ukraine or Israel. Well, I mean, the thing is with Ukraine, if they do this minerals deal technically, then yeah, Trump would be giving them more money because they get it's the return for the minerals. But it's more so to foster a peace deal. The Israel stuff you can forget about. They're going to be getting money. I mean, I don't agree with it, but that's just what the administration thinks. Remember the Raw Schumer burger? Yeah, he's trying to relate. Like, he was like, "This is the first time I've been in my backyard all in my life," and people were like, "Dude," and he tried to grill a burger with a piece of raw cheese. Where's Elon Musk? He hasn't arrived yet. They left. They're probably getting there right now. I hope he wasn't serious about the Gaza stuff, but yeah. Well, did you hear the recent news about Gaza? Apparently, the Arab countries don't want Trump taking over Gaza. They're going to make an investment of like $50 billion into rebuilding Gaza, those countries. So that would be better than the U.S. taking it. And people are saying, well, that's what Trump wanted all along. He just wanted to get the ball rolling in that negotiation process to where those countries deal with it, like UAE, Saudi Arabia. You excited for the speech? Yeah, this is going to be a good speech for Trump. It is just propaganda. There probably will be a liberal interruption. It's going to make them look even worse, and then this is just all good propaganda for Trump. Some things like Gaza are hard to understand. Well, with Israel's lobbying force, they're not hard to understand. But overall, we're getting exactly what we wanted with Trump. This is really unusual, historic, and fantastic. Yeah, well, there's the two guys that are going to be behind Trump tonight. I don't know. There's Elon. Elon is there, and they'll definitely be shouting out Elon. Trump will, I'm sure. So we're waiting on Trump. Trump might start right at 9 o'clock with the way they're going. They already got everyone out there outside of Trump. So they'll introduce Trump. He'll get a huge round of applause. And Elon in a suit. Yeah, we remember him in the Oval Office. Tom Homan. Really? Bernie Sanders? You thought Dems were boycotting? I mean, it's irrelevant. It's a waste of a boycott if they're going to do it. It's... The Daily Wire? They got invited? Dude, Shapiro looks like he's 13 years old. Yeah, Josh Hawley was there. Can someone confirm Fetterman is dressed in a suit?
The House of Representatives controls
I don't know. I
the
haven't seen Fetterman.
cameras,
He should be hard.
but on
He's hard to
special
miss without how tall he
occasions,
is.
They give the press pool.
This might need to be turned up a little bit,
etc.
Like multiple speaker votes, for instance.
Yes,
right?
yeah, we had there were several extra cameras, and of course there's Speaker Pelosi.
Ben
It looks
Shapiro,
like a
pro-Israel. Well, yes, he's
Ukraine
Jewish.
Flag, our scarf in her hand, and Steny Hoyer with a Ukraine designed our Ukraine colors tie. The former leaders of the House Democrats.
I mean, Fetterman better be in a suit, especially after what happened with Zelensky. Oh, there's Pocahontas peeking through, peering through the crowd. Tulum Obama makes an appearance. What is he going to run for in 2028? He's not winning anything. You staying live for the whole address? That's the plan. I should stay live after for the counter as well. Oh, we'll see if she agitates at all. Dems are going to do the haka dance mid speech. Well, there's going to be some disruption, probably from Crockett. We know these people love attention. Dr. Fauci in attendance. They would arrest him if he showed up. Bring Elon up. Gonna be a long speech. Normally like hour and a half, maybe. It's 8 o'clock on the East Coast. No, it's about to be 9 o'clock. Can you not do volume for copyright? Turn it. Yeah, I mean, no. Dude. This copyright thing. It should. This is C-SPAN. There should not be copyright. But I mean, I've you know, when Trump enters, I'll turn it up and leave it up. But there's really no point. It's just people talking. I'd rather just talk to the chat and not have like two voices at the same time. You hate Lindsey Graham with a passion? Well, he did change his opinion on the Ukraine war randomly.
Mr. Murkowski has
Cash. Maybe Cash comes up and talks about the Epstein stuff. That would be great for the coin. Vance's wife. Epstein news. We got Epstein news yesterday. There's Eric.
A couple of members of the president's cabinet tonight. One you will.
Where's Barron at? Did Barron not make it for this one? Yeah, no Barron, you're right. Is Pelosi there? I haven't seen her. Wasn't she in a wheelchair or something? Lindsey went against Zelensky so hard because he knows a bunch of horrible corruption stuff is about to come out. Well, Ukraine, yeah, right. I mean, Ukraine was already completely corrupt, but yeah, it's starting to get louder and louder. Did you hear what Tucker Carlson said about it? He said he 1,000% knows some of the money that's just being spent is being used to enrich elite people in Ukraine. It's not good. And it kind of serves us right. I mean, there was already so much corruption within Ukraine even before the war. I mean, Biden knows about that. Pelosi is there. They showed her. Is any Democrat boycotting? All right, let's see.
I mean, he saw that, television helped his predecessor, John F. Kennedy, get elected, and he wanted Lyndon Johnson.
Members of the committee on the part of the House to escort the President of the United States into the chamber, the following. The gentleman from Louisiana, Mr. Scalise. The gentleman from Minnesota, Mr. Emmer. The gentlewoman from Michigan, Mrs. McClain. The gentleman from North Carolina, Mr. Hudson. The gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Reschenthaler. The gentleman from Utah, Mr. Moore. The gentlewoman from Indiana, Mrs. Houchin. The gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. Hearn. The gentleman from New York, Mr. Jeffries. The gentlewoman from Massachusetts, Ms. Clark. The gentleman from California, Mr. Aguilar. The gentleman from California, Mr. Liu. The gentleman from Colorado, Mr. Neguse. The gentlewoman from Washington, Ms. Delbene. The gentlewoman from Michigan, Mrs. Dingle.
The President of the Senate, at the direction of that body, appoints the following senators as members of the committee on the part of the Senate to escort the President of the United States into the House chamber. The Senator from South Dakota, Mr. Thune. The Senator from Wyoming, Mr. Barrasso. The Senator from Arkansas, Mr. Cotton. The Senator from Oklahoma, Mr. Lankford. The Senator from West Virginia, Mrs. Capito. The Senator from South Carolina, Mr. Scott. The Senator from New York, Mr. Schumer. The Senator from Illinois, Mr. Durbin.
The
Senator from Minnesota,
the noise when I
Ms.
talk over
Klobuchar.
it?
The Senator from New Jersey, Mr. Booker. The Senator from Wisconsin, Ms. Baldwin.
The members of the escort committee will exit
Vance
the
has lost
chamber
weight.
through the lobby doors.
He keeps losing weight. Here comes Trump. Sounds good. All right, good. $1.7K. I'll peak at 2K probably with Trump when he gets up there. Whoa.
Speaker, the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps.
The honorary guest. Oh, they turned it up or some shit.
My wife loves this, Grayson. I hate it.
Fans on that Ozempic? Yeah, I mean, there's so many people that are on that. You know, I heard it is some problems that cause blindness. I don't know if that's true.
And we're about 5-10 minutes away from the president
5 to 10
entering the
minutes
chamber
away.
and beginning his speech. Jasmine Wright, Jason Dick, we've been watching this, chatting amongst ourselves. Is there anything that we can...
Right, so they said 5 to 10 minutes is when Trump is going to come out. That's pretty good. That's compared to what people were saying in the chat. Pink is a protest color. I mean, who cares with these people? They just want attention. They just hate Trump no matter what. Yep, there they all are in pink. Oh my god. What will Trump ever do? They wore pink. You don't trust Ozempic? Yeah, it's not. They're not doing. Trump's not coming out yet. Squeeze went crazy. I can't believe that coin did that well. The whale enters. The whale with a $33 donation. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Supreme Court justices, yes. The whale with another donation.
Jason Dick, we were just watching the Supreme Court come in. We saw Justice Roberts, Kavanaugh, Barrett, Kagan, and we did not see Justices Brown, Jackson, Sotomayor, Alito, Gorsuch, Thomas.
We did see retired Justice.
The whale.
Does that tell you anything? That just 4 out of the 5?
Yeah, guys, let me tell you this right now. Give the stream a like. We can get it trending #1. We can get it trending #1 on Twitter if we trust me. Buy XRP. XRP has engulfed me. It's taken over. It owns XRP. It's the army. It's everything good with crypto. I hope XRP does well. I never bought XRP in my life. Elon Musk is there. You're delayed. No, I'm not. This is not delayed at all. We know Elon's there. You might be watching. You have to fast forward it if. It went up 100 likes. Nobody. I mean, how much power do I have? This is. It's like. All right, here comes Trump.
Mess
Right.
at the local eatery.
Yeah,
Bring
maybe
in
it's Mardi
Trump.
Gras, you know, maybe
Yeah.
they'll
Now
have
introducing
Delphine
from
and
New
Mardi
York,
Gras.
New York.
Yeah. Jasmine Wright, when we were talking...
Trump was born in New York, right?
We were talking about J.D. Vance and Mike Johnson, and I asked the question before we got interrupted, which was, would you consider the Harris-Johnson relationship formal?
This is a
Yeah,
true.
I think
This
that
is what we
I'm
want in
not even
America.
sure I
This is
would
why
call it a
elections are
relationship.
important.
Those are two people that
We've
didn't
been able
really
to
know each other, that
restore.
didn't really talk.
This is going to be a good. This is nationalism. This is pure nationalism tonight from Trump. Trump needs to prepare the American. Like, look at all this shit. This is gone. You lost. You lost. You have no power. Get up and scream. Please scream for us so you can make it work. Embarrass yourself. Ben, thank you for that. While we wait, hypothetical for you. if the U.S. were to leave NATO, what countries do you think we would want to lean in a hypothetical NATO alliance? Yeah, I was thinking about that. I think they would probably still want to have the European, to a degree. Like, I know I don't know if they would want any countries in Europe because that kind of defeats the purpose, but it would be like you'd want a bigger agreement with Russia, Poland, South Korea, Japan, countries like that. But there are some European countries that aren't on board with what's going on, especially Poland. But I think any agreement would be a lot more loose for the United States, to where we don't have to involve ourselves. There can't be any forced involvement through something like an Article 5. That just can't happen. Yeah, Poland they don't accept any immigration at all, which seems very obvious. But if to Europe, it's like it's the Nazis 2.0 if you oppose any immigration.
It's not completely letting them go.
Do not say the word tariff. Crypto a little green. Yeah, crypto is kind of having a recovery like the past 12 hours or so. Imagine, you know what needs to be said? No crypto capital gains tax. That would be a compounding positive. Over under on how many outburst disruptions. I mean, if it's more than one, it becomes it's already childish, but if it's more than one, it's really childish. Yeah, there'll be two. There'll probably be 2 tantrums. 1.5 over under. Ireland is being replaced. Well, there's a lot of countries in Europe that are being replaced. He says tariffs. I mean, he'll probably will mention something about that. But I just hope he mentions positive stuff with crypto.
Sure who that one was. I think we've had a pretty good batting record.
Yes,
Melania. Haven't we?
Hope Trump mentions crypto. I think he will because of what was just happened with the reserve that was talked about earlier this week. Trump talked about the reserve on Truth Social, the strategic reserve.
Here comes Mrs. Trump. She's sitting with her guests. Greta gave us her guests earlier. They include some revenge porn victims, the comparatory family.
Trump's going to be coming next.
The father was killed in Butler, Pennsylvania. So she's sitting with her guests there.
Lincoln Riley families
That's
there.
right. That's right.
To answer your question, I wasn't.
Trump will mention Epstein.
I think those were
I need to pull up that chart on this computer then.
Since Donald Trump took office, there were some questions about how much she would be in Washington, how frequently she'd be around. But I think that there's a real shift in energy, not just from the president, but also from her office, trying to do things much differently this time around.
Mr. Speaker, the President's Cabinet.
The boos mean nothing. Yeah, Matt Walsh is there. Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, and I think Riley Gaines was next to them as like guests or whatever.
And now the cabinet is coming in. Secretary of State Rubio, Secretary of the Treasury Bessent. We saw there as well Attorney General Pam Bondi, Pete Hegseth was there.
RFK got in some heat about the measles vaccine. Did you guys see that?
Mr. Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, who we talked about a little bit earlier. RFK Jr., of course, HHS. There's Scott Turner. HUD. There's Seth.
Pam Bondi.
Duffy? I'm so sorry,
Something needs to
Sean
come out about
Duffy.
this.
Transportation.
Will Greenland be
Senator
mentioned?
Adam
There's about a
Schiff
30% chance it's mentioned.
sitting with,
Hopefully it's not mentioned because I
Senator
didn't buy the coin. I bought it, but then I sold it. If it's mentioned, it'll go up.
Yep, the new senator from Delaware, Lisa Blunt Rochester. We had Carol from Illinois, Carol Mosley Braun. We have Angela also Brooks, Maryland.
Still crazy to see a Kennedy in
Kamala
a
Harris was the second.
Kamala
yeah. Well,
Harris
think
is
about
first,
think
and
about
then,
RFK Jr.
Angela
running as a
Austin.
Democrat, getting kicked out,
Yeah.
running as an independent, or,
And
within
there's
the
Kristi
Democratic
Noem,
Party,
who's
then running as an
talking there
independent
with
just in the general, and then joining
Congressman
Trump.
from New Jersey, Jeff.
Tim
that's
Burchett.
Tim Burchett from Tennessee.
There we go. Is that Brooke Rollins, the Ag Secretary?
Secretary.
Yeah.
Trump should start off by reading the Epstein names.
It's sort of odd to
That would be
have something
insane.
like
That's not
this
gonna
with-
happen.
I mean, there's so much we're paying attention to the fashion because of like some of the protests and so forth, having just done the Oscars 2 nights ago. It's not quite as glamorous.
Not quite the same.
Not quite, not quite the same.
But there is a lot more power.
I would
concentrated
simply
in that
say,
right
Sure.
Jason, Dick, that nobody in the world cares what you or I are wearing.
Here it comes. Here we go. Yeah, Tom Homan is there.
Last year, Joe Biden took at least a half hour to get out of the chamber. It was a moment for him politically that boosted him.
Yeah.
That got rid of some of the rumors of mental decline, etc. And he worked that room for a half an hour. It was one of the most, in a sense, iconic things I've ever seen in politics.
Yeah.
And
Joe Biden spending
do we
half an
expect
hour
President
talking
Trump
to
to
people
do
in
the
the
same,
chamber
or-
is one of the most iconic
I don't
things
know.
he's ever seen in
I don't know if
politics.
He likes to chat.
Who is this
I don't
dude?
know if President Trump will be there as long. I mean, in that span, Joe Biden had like 2 hot mic moments that went viral. I mean, he was there for forever. I don't know if you expect President Trump to be for that long, but the reality is that as I've talked to
Half
people
hour, yeah,
close to
we in
him,
for a half
he
hour, it's
is
not gonna be that
enjoying
long.
this moment.
Half hour
He's
just
happy
greeting
to be back
people.
in the White House. He's happy to have a party that responds to him, that respects him.
It's like
and
one of the
he's
most
happy,
iconic moments. I mean,
back
when
to
Joe
being
Biden
the
spent an
center of
hour greeting
everything.
people, it's like one of the most
I
iconic
think
moments
you're
in
going
U.S.
to see
history.
him, show that happiness, shaking hands with his friends.
Thanks, bro, for the good coverage.
Shaking hands,
I appreciate
particularly
that, man.
people who don't like him very much, Democrats, kind of pushing
Does
them
the
to
audio
say
need to be turned
something,
up?
potentially. He's kind of reveling in this moment that he has now that he's back in the White House. And so I think he is going to be there a long time. Whether or not he's there as long as Joe Biden, I think only time will tell, because Joe Biden.
I think the
mean,
audio
remember
should be
being
louder
there,
when Trump comes on in general.
covering
They're
it
gonna,
last
it's gonna
year
be.
and being like, dang, can you leave? I'm trying to go home. So.
It did have a.
Did you see Trump giving Canadians U.S. citizenship because all us young Canadians would join in a heartbeat? Just give us a proper welcome. It's old farts.
I would guess.
I mean, I don't know about that. I think even the younger Canadians are also liberal.
That Biden, was running for re-election, but who knows what kind of doubts he
Mute
may
this
have had,
idiot.
About his own, his own path. This is like
When he comes out, I think
Yes.
that him speaking will be louder because it'll be a different.
Yeah, you can see
They have
that
like
the,
both.
The cabinet is still.
You can hear the cabinet and then you can hear them. They have
And
both.
they're not going to bring him in while there's still
Things
people
going on.
in the aisles, but he is.
SGT cool.
nearby.
Thank you for
He's
that,
in the
man.
holding room
$13.99
next
is
to
that
the
Canadian?
chamber
I don't know, man. The
and
Canadian
should be
dollar has
coming
lost so
in
much
shortly.
value.
I
That's
just
like
wanna
$1
remind our
worth. I'm
viewers.
kidding. Thank
Obviously,
you.
we're going to shut up as soon as the president gets in there. We're going to listen to everything that happens. We'll watch the president leave the room, all without us. There's Tulsi Gabbard, of course, talking with Chip Roy.
Kelly Loeffler.
Where Joe Rogan
Yeah,
comes
that's
out.
right. Former senator.
It's
from
Joe Rogan.
Georgia, RFK.
Libs on Reddit
I
would
haven't
lose their
seen
minds.
RFK Jr. talk to a lot of people. I don't know if that's a.
I saw him
saying
talk to Jeff
anything.
Van Drew, and
Okay.
I wonder if it was a conversation about.
I mean, I'll
fluoride.
mute it, but it's just. I'll mute it for now. These guys are they're just saying stuff that's meaningless. Just meaningless babble. Just incoherent babble as the crowd is in the background. I mean, it's only going to be muted for like a minute. Trump's about to go. But the thing is, this is the thing. Trump's going to go out and we're just going to hear a bunch of applause for like 15 straight minutes. I hope you guys are ready for that. DG3 is an asset. DG3 just launched DG3. This is an important asset for the crypto space. Just launched Greed 2. This is just incoherent babble. Introducing from Moscow, Russia, Vladimir Putin. Liberals just leave. I better top out our dollar is pretty bad. Yeah. Thank you, man. Wonderwolf DG2. Yeah, I remember. I do remember the upgraded Wonderwolf. Wait, was that seriously? Wait, the upgraded was wait, the Wonderwolf was called DG2? Trying to remember if that is hilarious if that is true. Switch to News Nation. I mean, dude, really, the thing is with C-SPAN, you just don't get hit with any. I mean, this is like government official, you know, so I'm avoiding copyright with this. This is official government. You're allowed to distribute this because it's for the public. I mean, if I go to people wanted me to go to Right Side Broadcasting, we'll be seeing Mike Lindell buy my pillow for like half the time. It'll be taking off half the screen. It's like buy my pillow. It's $13.99. It's so close. Trump is going to announce the date for GTA 6. Here it comes. I'm colluding. Yeah, I'm a Russian asset. You got me. I have a vacation home in Moscow. I have a vacation home in the newly annexed Donbass region. How am I doing? I'm doing well. Trump milking. I'll hear it. I think it's happening.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
The minerals deal happens tonight. The minerals deal. Trump has lost some serious weight. He's in good shape now. We get a minerals deal. We get a 2-for-1. We get the 2-for-1. The 2-for-1. Yes. What does the purple mean? He's endorsing Solana. finally got a leader. We finally got a leader. There's some Republican women wearing pink, it looks like, clapping. No YNCA, yeah. They're going to be clapping for 15 minutes. Trump has insanely high aura. Yeah. Well, this is the golden age. We got the golden age. We're going to have an amazing stock market. We're going to have an amazing economy. Oh, this speech. This is a good speech. This is nationalism. This is the power of an election. Jasmine Crockett throw a shoe at Trump. She'll probably scream. She's gonna start screaming. He didn't take that long either. He's already ready to speak. Oh, look at him. that was a sour look. The Libco.
Thank you.
That's like the fourth time they've showed these. Ultra Mega, the whale responds. The whale responds.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Thank you very much. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, the First Lady of the United States.
Oh, this might be another minute. Yeah, this is another minute. Trump lost so much weight. Yeah, Trump has been working out a lot, apparently.
Members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
Yep. It's the golden age. Remember during the election?
6 weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
No, it's true. No, it's true. I mean, just the Doge cuts. There's Elon. Just the historic $100 billion Doge cuts alone.
I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. There's never been anything like it. The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes.
Just a total blowout, popular vote. They didn't think he could win it. Easily wins it like 1.5.
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
Oh, man.
And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 525, on a map that reads almost completely
Mike
red
Johnson does not look
for
happy.
Republican.
They're booing because they lost. They're booing themselves.
Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever.
They need to be kicked out. They couldn't wait 3 minutes. Bro couldn't even last 3 minutes.
Likewise, small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
They gotta be removed. They need to be removed. They can't act like adults.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning.
He won fair and square. I hate democracy. He won fair and square.
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session.
You have been deported to Greenland. We're trying to hear our president speak. Time to leave, bro.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order.
But he wanted this. He wanted this, right?
Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
No, thanks for wasting our time. He'll be on the first flight to Greenland. Just such a waste of time. Danny Schroeder.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain
Confused
decorum
old men.
in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you.
That was a waste
Over
of
the
5
past
minutes.
6 weeks, I have signed nearly 100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions, a record to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land. The people elected me to do the job, and I'm doing it.
It's all the early stuff. We're getting to the topics here.
In fact, it has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency, is the most successful in the history of our nation. By many.
The top experts say that. He's right.
And what makes it even
Musk
more
steals
impressive
the
is
sun.
that, do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that? How about that? I don't know about that list, but we'll take it. Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our country. And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever.
Right? It's the encounters are at record lows. The encounters are at record lows. It's 10 times lower than with Biden. It's just securing the border. There's nobody coming in now.
They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier that way. In comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history, there were hundreds of thousands of illegal crossings a month, and virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and insane asylums, were released into our country. Who would want to do that? This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
I'm surprised he did make a point of that, but that's 100% right. I say that like every video almost. It's like we've given up hope on any Democrats admitting Trump does something well.
So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly
Look at
make
Vance.
America great again.
She's crying. They're crying. Vance is like, come on, guys.
Every day my administration is fighting to deliver the change America needs to bring a future that America deserves, and we're doing it. This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
You have to do it. We don't know where the money's going. We have to, I mean, absolutely.
I terminated the ridiculous Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars that other countries were not paying. I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization. And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council. We ended all of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction. To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first term.
Yeah, Elon needs to bring the chainsaw out. Bring the chainsaw out.
And in that first term, we set records on ending unnecessary rules and regulations like no other president had done before. We ordered all federal workers to return to the office. They will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job.
Trump was right about everything.
And we've ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good.
Musk steals Medicaid, false.
And I have stopped all government
Jamie Raskin in the
censorship
back.
and brought back free speech in America. It's back.
How dare you?
And 2 days ago, I signed an order making English the official language of the United States.
Oh, that's the most obvious thing ever. No, that's racist. They said it's racist. The most obvious thing ever.
I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
Now talk about Greenland.
And likewise, I renamed, for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again. Beautiful Alaska. We love Alaska.
Beautiful Alaska.
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military.
It's a good exercise for fans. Oh, she looks stunned.
And
she
our
is stunned.
country will be woke no longer.
Like a stun grenade went off.
We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important. You should be hired based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good to have the Supreme Court.
We have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
You think it's obvious. You think we're a proper society. It's male, female. Look at all these people. Man, it's bad. It's bad. My 3-year-old's trans.
I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports.
Why does Matt Walsh look like he's miserable?
3 years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding.
It's obvious.
And if you really want to see numbers, just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. It's demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. We're not going to put up with it any longer.
It's such a winning issue. I mean, 80% of the country agrees.
What I have just described is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never. Never going to let that happen. Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare. Their policies drove up energy prices, pushed up grocery costs, and drove the necessities of life out of reach for millions and millions of Americans. They've never had anything like it. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even in the history of our country. They're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again.
Meme Lord. You got me. You got me. Save Medicaid.
Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control.
That's correct.
Egg price is out of control, and we're working hard to get it back down.
They killed all the chickens.
Secretary, do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration. Do a good job.
I mean, we got some resistors.
A major focus of our fight to defeat inflation is rapidly reducing the cost of energy. The previous administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now.
Hey, my friend Caitlin is watching. Can you call him a soy boy? That's a female name in general. It's a female name.
And frankly, we have never seen anything like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency. As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far. And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
The protesters already left.
My administration is also working on a gigantic natural gas pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one. It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA.
We're getting a 3-for-1 with the, think about it, we're getting a 3-for-1. Rare earths from Russia, rare earths from Ukraine, rare earths from Greenland. Found on Sports came back for politics. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the time.
To further combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but will be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars.
The Doge payback.
And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency. Doge.
There's Elon.
Perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps.
It's socially awkward. Oh.
Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
Some weird movements from Elon as normal. Caitlyn, not Caitlyn, and he's a big Trudeau supporter. Oh, he's a soy boy. We are living in the golden age of DG. Everyone embrace it. Yeah, this is the golden age of me. You're right.
He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe. They just don't want to admit that. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is.
And the Fed,
$8
SB,
million
thank
to
you.
promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East.
Arab Sesame Street?
$20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her? A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. We know what we're doing. We should use it ourselves. And $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education. The most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people, headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud.
Well, and Elon's like, do I get up or not? False, false, false. Protect veterans, but while we import 50,000 illegal immigrants.
And reduced our debt to fight inflation and other things. Taking back a lot of that money. We got it just in time. This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation, and we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to. We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security program for our seniors, and that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old. It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly. 3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129. 3.9 million people from ages 130 to 139. 3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149. And money is being paid to many of them. And we're searching right now. In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck. You're going to find it. But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid, and nobody does. And it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby.
Well, they keep screaming out false every time. Protect our veterans. He keeps firing them from federal service. I did see something about a town hall where some veterans were fired, supposedly.
To finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229. One person between the age of 240 and 249. And one person is listed at 360 years of age.
George Washington?
More than 100 years. More than 100 years older than our country. But we're going to find out where that money's going, and it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families.
No, he's getting rid of government waste. Oh. False Medicaid.
And today, interest rates took a beautiful drop, big, beautiful drop. It's about time. And in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it. With that goal in mind, we have developed in great detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which goes on sale very, very soon. For $5 million, we will allow the most successful job-creating people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship. It's like the green card, but better and more sophisticated. And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came. The money that they've made, you wouldn't want to do that, but they have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying for them so that we can keep them in our country instead of having them being forced out. Number one, at the top school, as an example, being forced out and not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators who are allowed to enter our country under the open border policy of these people, the Democrats, the Biden administration, the open border insane policies that you've allowed to destroy our country, we will now bring in brilliant, hardworking, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money. Americans have given us a mandate for bold and profound change. For nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way. The nation founded by pioneers and risk-takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages of regulations and debt. Approvals that should take 10 days to get instead take 10 years, 15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again.
I think the crypto stuff is coming right now.
And any federal bureaucrat who resists this change will be removed from office immediately. Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over. And the next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there. They're waiting for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts, because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that. But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax.
False. What? Tax cuts are false? They're like gerbils, these people.
False tax cuts.
Thank you. It's a very, very big part of our plan. We had tremendous success in our first term with it. A very big part of our plan. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors. And I also want to make
a whiteboard?
interest payments on car loans tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America. And by the way, we're going to have growth in the auto industry like nobody's ever seen. Plants are opening up all over the place. Deals are being made. Never seen. That's a combination of the election win and tariffs. It's a beautiful word, isn't it? That, along with our other policies, will allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all three, the top people, and they're so excited. In fact, already numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world.
The semiconductor deal as well.
And this has taken place since our great victory on November 5th, a date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country. In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country. First term. We had a great first term.
The whiteboard. He's like, bitch, please.
If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And we give so much help militarily and in so many other ways to South Korea, but that's what happens. This is happening by friend and foe. This system is not fair to the United States and never was, and so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day. That's not, just one day cost us a lot of money. But we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us, we will tax them.
And Schumer is just a disgusting individual.
If they do
That's a disgusting specimen.
Tariffs to keep us out of their market, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our market. There's a lot of that, too. They don't even allow us in their market. We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before. I did it with China, and I did it with others, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it. We have been ripped off for decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer. Much has been said over the last 3 months about Mexico and Canada, but we have very large deficits with both of them. But even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens and many very young, beautiful people, destroying families. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They are, in effect, receiving subsidies of hundreds of billions of dollars. We pay subsidies to Canada and to Mexico of hundreds of billions of dollars, and the United States will not be doing that any longer. We're not going to do it any longer. Thanks to our America First policies we're putting into place, we have had $1.7 trillion of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of the election and our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced $500 billion investment, which they wouldn't have done if Kamala had won. Apple announced $500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. They'll be building their plants here instead of in China. And just yesterday, Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount, 97% of the market, announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth right here in the USA.
That's very key. That is super key. We need them made in the United States.
And we're not giving them any money. Your CHIPS Act is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they came and they're building, and many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money. We just want to protect our businesses and our people, and they will come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act, and whatever's left over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to.
Right, they came back because they were threatened with huge tariffs. They came to the United States, and that's why they did the deal. The CHIPS Act was dead in the water. There's no investment.
A new trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer. Who will now be selling into our home market, the USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you. Because those goods that come in from other countries and companies, they're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting, and they come in and they pour in, and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers, starting on April 2nd, it may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too. It's all going to happen.
And that's the thing with Trump's economy. It's going to take a little while with the tariffs and stuff. It's going to be amazing in like a month,
and I have
in like a year.
also imposed a 25% tariff on foreign aluminum, copper, lumber, and steel, because if we don't have, as an example, steel and lots of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly, we just won't have a country very long. Here today is a proud American steelworker, fantastic person from Decatur, Alabama, Jeff Denard has been working at the same steel plant for 27 years in a job that has allowed him to serve as the captain of his local volunteer fire department, raise 7 children with his beautiful wife, Nicole, and over the years provide a loving home for more than 40 foster children. So great, Jeff.
Yeah, these liberals are on their phones.
Thank you, Jeff.
Gut snap.
Stories like Jeff's remind us that tariffs
are
are not just about protecting American jobs. They're about protecting the soul of our country. Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. It won't be much. No, you're not. Oh.
Doesn't matter.
And look where Biden took us, very low, the lowest we've ever been. Jeff, I want to thank you very much, and I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community. She works so hard on it. A very loving person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States. Melania's work has yielded incredible results, helping prepare our nation's future leaders as they enter the workforce. Our First Lady is joined by 2 impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative and is poised to complete her education and become a teacher. And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the Take It Down Act, and this is so important. Thank you very much, John. John Thune, thank you. Stand up, John. Thank you, John. Thank you all very much. Thank you. And thank you to John Thune and the Senate. Great job. To criminalize the publication of such images online is a terrible, terrible thing. And once it passes the House, I look forward to signing that bill into law. Thank you. And I'm going to use that bill for myself, too, if you don't mind. Because nobody gets treated worse than I do online. Nobody. That's great. Thank you very much to the Senate. Thank you. But if we truly care about protecting Americans' children, no step is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities all throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies, they are now strongly embedded in our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast.
Here comes the crypto talk.
And I want to thank Tom Homan and Christy. I want to thank you and Paul of Border Patrol. I want to thank you. What a job they've all done, everybody. Border Patrol, ICE, law enforcement in general is incredible. We have to take care of our law enforcement. Have to. Last year, a brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Laken Riley, the best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Laken was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Laken was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien gang member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration. He had then been arrested and released in a Democrat-run sanctuary city, a disaster, before ending the life of this beautiful young angel. With us this evening are Laken's beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren.
Remember, Biden said Lincoln Riley, the coach.
Last year, I told Laken's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act. It's called the Laken-Riley Act. So Allison and Lauren, America will never, ever forget our beautiful Laken Hope Riley. Thank you very much. Since taking office, my administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in American history, and we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded. Thank you.
Right, they criticize him with the deportation numbers, but it's the crossing. The encounters are at nothing.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
As crypto's coming. Crypto's inevitable. He'll mention it. Oh, the stank look. The stank look.
Joe Biden didn't just open our borders, he flew illegal aliens over them to overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and communities throughout the country. Entire towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled under the weight of the migrant occupation and corruption like nobody's ever seen before. Beautiful towns destroyed. Now, just as I promised in my inaugural address, we are achieving the great liberation of America. But there's still
They should show Democrats.
is much work to be done. Here tonight is a woman I have gotten to know, Alexis Nungari from Houston. Wonderful woman. Last June, Alexis's 12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a nearby convenience store. She was kidnapped, tied up, assaulted for 2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered. Arrested and charged with this heinous crime are 2 illegal alien monsters from Venezuela, released into America by the last administration through their ridiculous open border. The death of this beautiful 12-year-old girl and the agony of her mother and family touched our entire nation greatly. Alexis, I promised that we would always remember your daughter, your magnificent daughter, and Earlier tonight, I signed an order keeping my word to you. One thing I have learned about Jocelyn is that she loved animals so much. She loved nature. Across Galveston Bay, from where Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge, a pristine, peaceful, 34,000-acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America. Alexis, moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order?
They're signing one right now. And that's a great example of just when you have border policies like that, it does cost Americans lives. That's someone that was deported, came back.
Thank you very much. All three savages charged with Jocelyn and Lakin's murders were members of the Venezuelan prison gang, the toughest gang, they say, in the world, known as Tren de Aragua. 2 weeks ago, I officially designated this gang, along with MS-13 and the bloodthirsty Mexican drug cartels, as foreign terrorist organizations.
It's key because it means Trump can perform military actions like special operations against them. He's just to do it. He has authority to do it because they're terrorist organizations.
They are now officially in the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them. Countless thousands of these terrorists were welcomed into the U.S. by the Biden administration. But now every last one will be rounded up and forcibly removed from our country, or, if they're too dangerous, put in jails, standing trial in this country, because we don't want them to come back ever. With us this evening is a warrior on the front lines of that battle, Border Patrol Agent Roberto Ortiz. Great guy.
I mean, that is a good one. Walls 2020. I'd love to see it. I don't think it's going to go too well for Walls. We need crypto.
In January, Roberto and another agent were patrolling by the Rio Grande, near an area known as Cartel Island. Doesn't sound too nice to me. When heavily armed gunmen started shooting at them, Roberto saw that his partner was totally exposed, at great danger, and he leapt into action, returning fire and providing crucial seconds for his fellow agent to seek safety, just barely. I have some of the prints of that event, and it was not good. Agent Ortiz, we salute you for your great courage and for your line of fire that you took and for the bravery that you showed. We honor you, and we will always honor you. Thank you, Roberto, very much. Thank you, Roberto.
This is a really good
and
speech.
I actually
we get
got to
crypto
know
stuff
him
here.
on my many calls to the border. He's a great gentleman. The territory to the immediate south of our border is now dominated entirely by criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation, posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war on America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing.
It'll be interesting to see how he handles it, like special
5
operations.
nights ago, Mexican authorities, because of our tariff policies being imposed on them, think of this, handed over to us 29 of the biggest cartel leaders in their country. That has never happened before. They want to make us happy. First time ever. But we need Mexico and Canada to do much more than they've done, and they have to stop the fentanyl and drugs pouring into the USA. They're going to stop it. I have sent Congress a detailed funding request laying out exactly how we will eliminate these threats to protect our homeland and complete the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than current record holder President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a moderate man, but someone who believed very strongly in borders. Americans expect Congress to send me this funding without delay so I can sign it into law. So, Mr. Speaker, John Thune, both of you, I hope you're going to be able to do that, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Mr. Leader, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's get it to me. I'll sign it so fast, you won't even believe it.
Them's not going to stand for a hero. I mean, doesn't that prove Trump's point? No matter what he says, they won't applaud him. No matter what it is.
And as we reclaim our sovereignty, we must also bring back law and order to our cities and towns.
Yeah, Vance's workout.
Our justice system has been turned upside down by radical left lunatics. Many jurisdictions virtually ceased enforcing the law against dangerous repeat offenders while weaponizing law enforcement against political opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law, starting at the FBI and the DOJ. Pam, good luck. Cash, wherever you may be, good luck. Good luck. Pam Bondi. Good luck.
Trump's about to announce a strict immigration policy.
Cash, thank you.
Zero immigration.
Thank you, Cash.
Cash Patel. We need the Epstein stuff.
They've already started very strong. They're going to do a fantastic job. You're going to be very proud of them. We're also once again giving our police officers the support, protection, and respect they so dearly deserve. They have to get it. They have such a hard, dangerous job, but we're going to make it less dangerous. The problem is the bad guys don't respect the law, but they're starting to respect it, and they soon will respect it. This also includes our great fire departments throughout the country. Our firemen and women are unbelievable people, and we'll never forget them. And besides that, they voted for me in record numbers, so I have no choice. 1 year ago this month, 31-year-old New York police officer Jonathan Diller, unbelievably wonderful person and a great officer, was gunned down at a traffic stop on Long Island. I went to his funeral. The vicious criminal charged with his murder had 21 prior arrests, and they were rough arrests, too. He was a real bad one. The thug in the seat next to him had 14 prior arrests and went by the name of Killer. He was Killer. He killed other people, they say, a lot of them. I attended Officer Diller's service, and when I met his wife and one-year-old son, Ryan, it was very inspirational, actually. His widow's name is Stephanie, and she is here tonight. Stephanie, thank you very much, Stephanie. Thank you very much.
Someone was asking how long is the speech. It just goes until he finishes. He started speaking like an hour and 10 minutes ago, I think.
Stephanie, we're going to make sure that Ryan knows his dad was a true hero New York's finest, and we're going to get these cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders off our streets, and we're going to do it fast. Got to stop it. They get out with 28 arrests. They push people into subway trains. They hit people over the head, back of the head with baseball bats. We got to get them out of here. I've already signed an executive order requiring a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer. And tonight I'm asking Congress to pass that policy into permanent law.
He's definitely hammering home the illegal immigration.
I'm also asking for a new crime bill getting tough on repeat offenders while enhancing protections for America's police officers so they can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed. They don't want to be killed. We're not going to let them be killed. Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
They're going to talk about they're going to have to talk about the war situations that will be brought up. The Israel, Gaza, and the Russia, Ukraine. It's going to have to be brought up.
But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
They won't even clap for that.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
That's a great gesture.
Thank you, DJ. DJ's doctors believe his cancer likely came from a chemical he was exposed to when he was younger. Since 1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%. Reversing this trend is one of the top priorities for our new presidential commission to make America healthy again, chaired by our new Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy, Jr.
RFK Jr. It is crazy that he's in a Republican administration. Speech in 2033 is going to be tough.
With the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody over here would have been
formatted
cheering.
differently.
How quickly they forget. Our goal is to get toxins out of our environment, poisons out of our food supply, and keep our children healthy and strong. As an example, not long ago, and you can't even believe these numbers, 1 in 10,000 children had autism, 1 in 10,000, and now it's 1 in 36. There's something wrong, 1 in 36, think of that. So we're going to find out what it is, and there's nobody better than Bobby and all of the people that are working with you. You have the best to figure out what is going on. Okay, Bobby, good luck. It's a very important job. Thank you.
You can hear Big Pharma in the background. You hear Big Pharma? Big Pharma, the Democrats.
Thank you. My administration is also working to protect our children from toxic ideologies in our schools. A few years ago, January, Littlejohn and her husband discovered that their daughter's school had secretly socially transitioned their 13-year-old little girl. Teachers and administrators conspired to deceive January and her husband while encouraging her daughter to use a new name and pronouns. They, them pronoun, actually, all without telling January, who is here tonight and is now a courageous advocate against this form of child abuse. January, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Stories like this are why, shortly after taking office, I signed an executive order banning public schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology. I also signed an order to cut off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in the sexual mutilation of our youth.
It's a shame, but it has to be done. It's a shame it's even a thing.
And now I want Congress to pass a bill permanently banning and criminalizing sex changes on children and forever ending the lie that any child is trapped in the wrong body. This is a big lie.
He's going to talk about Israel next, and Ukraine, and then crypto.
And our message to every child in America is that you are perfect exactly the way God made you. Because we're getting wokeness out of our schools and out of our military, and it's already out, and it's out of our society. We don't want it. Wokeness is trouble. Wokeness is bad. It's gone. It's gone. And we feel so much better for it, don't we? Don't we feel better? Our service members won't be activists and ideologues. They will be fighters and warriors. They will fight for our country. And Pete, congratulations. Secretary of Defense, congratulations. And he's not big into the woke movement, I can tell you. I know him well. I am pleased to report that in January, the U.S. Army had its single best recruiting month in 15 years, and that all armed services are having among the best recruiting results ever in the history of our services. What a difference.
What a difference when you have someone that loves the country and that's not captured by liberalism.
And you know, it
you
was
get patriotism
just
back.
A few months ago where the results were exactly the opposite. We couldn't recruit anywhere. We couldn't recruit. Now we're having the best results just about that we've ever had. What a tremendous turnaround. It's really a beautiful thing to see. People love our country again. It's very simple. They love our country, and they love being in our military again. So it's a great thing, and thank you very much. Great job. Thank you. We're joined tonight by a young man, Jason Hartley, who knows the weight of that call of duty. Jason's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a 6-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say, a brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good, GPA.
I gotta take a piss. I'll be right back.
And his greatest dream is to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. And Jason, that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets. Thank you. Jason, you're going to be on the long gray line, Jason. As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA.
He's talking about an Iron Dome.
And Ronald Reagan
Did he talk about Israel or
wanted
crypto?
to do it long ago, but the technology just wasn't there, not even close. But now we have the technology. It's incredible, actually. And other places, they have it. Israel has it. Other places have it. And the United States should have it too, right, Tim, right? They should have it too. So I want to thank you. But it's a very, very important. This is a very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before. To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding.
Golden Dome to protect from missiles.
And for that purpose, I am announcing tonight that we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs. We used to make so many ships. We don't make them anymore very much, but we're going to make them very fast, very soon. It will have a huge impact. To further enhance our national security, my administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal, and we've already started doing
he might talk about Greenland. I mean, BlackRock got the ports.
Just today, a large American company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals. The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others, but others could use it. But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. They died of malaria. They died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice place to work. They paid them very highly to go there, knowing there was a 25% chance that they would die. The most expensive project also that was ever built in our country's history, if you bring it up to modern day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1, but that agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
Well, they're removing the Chinese influence surrounding the canal.
And we have Marco Rubio in charge. Good luck, Marco. Now, we know who to blame if anything goes wrong. Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it, he got 100 votes. You know, he was approved with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes, and I'm either very, very happy about that or I'm very concerned about it.
Right.
But he's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman. He's respected by everybody, and we appreciate you voting for Marco. He's going to do a fantastic job. Thank you. Thank you. He's doing a great job. Great job. And I also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland. We strongly support your right to determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security, and we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security. And I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it.
Right.
We will keep you safe.
The easy way or the hard way.
We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before. It's a very small population, but very, very large piece of land and very, very important for military security. America is once again standing strong against the forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan. Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
Are they sleeping?
And I want to thank especially the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster. This was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well, most of them, whose children were murdered, and the many people that were so badly, over 42 people, so badly injured on that fateful day in Afghanistan. What a horrible day. Such incompetence was shown that when Putin saw what happened, I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was. Should have never happened. Grossly incompetent people. I spoke to many of the parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight. Just spoke to them on the phone. We had a big call. Every one of them called, and everybody was on the line, and they did nothing but cry with happiness. They were very happy, as happy as you can be under those circumstances. Their child, brother, sister, son, daughter was killed for no reason whatsoever. In the Middle East, we're bringing back our hostages from Gaza. In my first term, we achieved one of the most groundbreaking peace agreements in generations, the Abraham Accords.
You're talking about Greenland coin? Yeah, are you watching this chart? It's only up 7% though.
And now we're going to build on that foundation to create a more peaceful and prosperous future for the entire region. A lot of things are happening in the Middle East. People have been talking about that so much. lately with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia. But a lot of things are happening in the Middle East. It's a rough neighborhood, actually. I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed or wounded in this horrific and brutal conflict with no end in sight. The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything.
Here comes the minerals announcement.
Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
Boy, she's going to be bitchy tonight. She's shaking. She's shaking.
2,000
Did someone check
people
on her?
are being killed every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans. But I want it to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has sadly spent more money buying Russian oil and gas than they have spent on defending Ukraine, by far. Think of that. They've spent more buying Russian oil and gas than they have defending. And we've spent perhaps $350 billion, like taking candy from a baby. That's what happened. And they've spent $100 billion. What a difference that is. And we have an ocean separating us, and they don't. But we're getting along very well with them, and lots of good things are happening. Biden has authorized more money in this fight than Europe has spent by billions and billions of dollars. It's hard to believe that they wouldn't have stopped it and said at some point, come on, let's equalize. You got to be equal to us. But that didn't happen. Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
The mineral deal. Yep. Trump got Zelensky. Trump owned Zelensky.
Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Trump just won. Trump won the war.
It's time to stop this madness. It's time to halt the killing. It's time to end this senseless war. If you want to end wars, you have to talk to both sides. Nearly 4 years ago, amid rising tensions, a history teacher named Mark Fogel was detained in Russia and sentenced to 14 years in a penal colony. Rough stuff. The previous administration barely lifted a finger to help him. They knew he was innocent, but they had no idea where to begin. But last summer, I promised his 95-year-old mother, Malphine, that we would bring her boy safely back home. After 22 days in office, I did just that, and they are here tonight.
The minerals deal might be announced tomorrow.
To Mark and his great mom, we are delighted to have you safe and sound and with us. As fate would have it, Mark Fogel was born in a small rural town in Butler, Pennsylvania. Have you heard of it? Where his mother has lived for the past 78 years. I just happened to go there last July 13th for a rally. That was not pleasant. And that is where I met his beautiful mom right before I walked onto that stage. And I told her I would not forget what she said about her son. And I never did I? Never forgot. Less than 10 minutes later, at that same rally, gunfire rang out, and a sick and deranged assassin unloaded 8 bullets from his sniper's perch into a crowd of many thousands of people. My life was saved by a fraction of an inch, but some were not so lucky. Corey Comparator was a firefighter, a veteran, a Christian, a husband, a devoted father, and above all, a protector. When the sound of gunshots pierced the air, it was a horrible sound. Corey knew instantly what it was and what to do. He threw himself on top of his wife and daughters and shielded them from the bullets with his own body. Corey was hit really hard. You know the story from there. He sacrificed his life to save theirs. 2 others, very fine people, were also seriously hit. But thankfully, with the help of 2 great country doctors, we thought they were gone and they were saved. So those doctors had great talent. We're joined by Corey's wife, Helen, who was his high school sweetheart, and their 2 beloved daughters, Allison and Kaylee. Thank you.
And they still have to do an investigation into that. It's just the Secret Service.
To Helen, Allison, and Kaylee, Corey is looking down on his 3 beautiful ladies right now, and he is cheering you on. He loves you. He is cheering you on. Corey was taken from us much too soon, but his destiny was to leave us all with a shining example of the selfless devotion of a true American patriot. It was love like Corey's that built our country, and it's love like Corey's that is going to make our country more majestic than ever before. I believe that my life was saved that day in Butler for a very good reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. I believe that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. From the patriots of Lexington and Concord to the heroes of Gettysburg and Normandy, from the warriors who crossed the Delaware to the trailblazers who climbed the Rockies, and from the legends who soared at Kitty Hawk to the astronauts who touched the moon, Americans have always been the people who defied all odds, transcended all dangers, made the most extraordinary sacrifices, and did whatever it took to defend our children, our country, and our freedom. And as we have seen in this chamber tonight, that same strength, faith, love, and spirit is still alive and thriving in the hearts of the American people. Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence us, break us, destroy us, Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign, and independent nation that will always be free, and we will fight for it till death, we will never let anything happen to our beloved country, because we are a country of doers, dreamers, fighters, and survivors. Our ancestors crossed a vast ocean, strode into the unknown wilderness, and carved their fortunes from the rock and soil of a perilous and very dangerous frontier. They chased our destiny across a boundless continent. They built the railroads, laid the highways, and graced the world with American marvels like the Empire State Building, the mighty Hoover Dam, and the towering Golden Gate Bridge. They lit the world with electricity, broke free of the force of gravity, fired up the engines of American industry, vanquished the communists, fascists, and Marxists all over the world, and gave us countless modern wonders sculptured out of iron, glass, and steel. We stand on the shoulders of these pioneers who won and built the modern age, these workers who poured their sweat into the skylines of our cities, these warriors who shed their blood on fields of battle and gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. Now it is our time to take up the righteous cause of American liberty, and it is our turn to take America's destiny into our own hands and begin the most thrilling days in the history of our country. This will be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher, and we are going to forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic, and most dominant civilization ever to exist on the face of this earth. We are going to create the highest quality of life, build the safest and wealthiest and healthiest and most vital communities anywhere in the world. We are going to conquer the vast frontiers of science, and we are going to lead humanity into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars and even far beyond. And through it all, we are going to rediscover the unstoppable power of the American spirit. And we are going to renew unlimited promise of the American dream. Every single day, we will stand up and we will fight, fight, fight for the country our citizens believe in and for the country our people deserve.
Crypto's coming here at the end.
My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future, because the golden age of America has only just begun. It will be like nothing that has ever been seen before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
And all the Democrats immediately scatter like rats. Crypto is Friday. Yeah, my chat loves crypto. We all love crypto. Crypto is very important, but guys, we all love crypto. We get it. We all love crypto. We want crypto to be mentioned. I'm surprised there was no crypto. Yeah, that was a good speech. I mean, that was a good speech. I mean, I thought there would be more substance on Gaza. And also, I mean, he did talk about Zelensky sending him over. So he hinted at the minerals deal probably happening tomorrow.
It's a great honor. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much.
I think the minerals deal is happening tomorrow. I wish he would get into just how evil liberalism is. I mean, I understand you have to say what you did, everything that you've done.
Thank you. I see you teaching young people to love America. I'm trying to.
Here, we'll just leave this as he exits. Yeah, so I mean,
Thank you again. Thank you again. Won't forget.
that was the first major address by Donald Trump in his second term as president.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good job, Mr. President. Thanks. Thanks again, Mr. President.
There's a lot of people in the chat. You know, guys, this is what happens with the chat. Whenever I get over 1,000, it's what happens. Thanks for the chat, yeah, guys. No problem. A good chat, good Trump is saying, and you know, not really many liberal agitators. They held up signs. We knew it was going to happen. But there's going to be a liberal reaction here to this.
You don't have to introduce yourself. I know you better than you do, right? My great baseball player.
America
Good
is
job. Great job you're doing.
America is back. Thank you so much,
Welcome you
Mr.
back in
President.
Pennsylvania anytime, sir.
They stood for.
Thank you all.
That was honestly a pretty expected time on how long Trump would talk. It doesn't, like a Trump speech, what was it, like an hour 40? About an hour 40 he went. I know. I think there's going to be there's a rumor about they're going to announce on Friday no tax on crypto on Friday. They have the crypto reunion on Friday.
How you doing? All right?
You need more substance? I thought there was going to be more, a little bit more on certain topics.
Thank you, darling.
Greenland was mentioned. Yeah, he mentioned Greenland. He mentioned Panama. Didn't really talk. That's another interesting. Didn't really talk about Canada. Didn't talk about Canada. He mentioned the tariffs and talked about how they're reciprocal and how they already tariff us and other countries tariff us. And he's putting in a bunch of tariffs on April 2nd, apparently. But nothing exactly direct at Canada. Canada is obviously very pissed off. Not that it matters, but. You crypto people are, I mean, we're all crypto people. My fans are crypto people. I'm a crypto person. We know it's the future. We know these meme coins are the future. So it's important. But listen, there is going to be a big thing on Friday with crypto. Didn't talk about Epstein or JFK. Yeah, that's because, I mean, there's been some pretty big criticism with that. The thought was maybe he would announce something like they found stuff or they're releasing something tomorrow. But it doesn't surprise me he didn't talk about Epstein because that's been a criticism within his administration.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the beneficial ownership and this week.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for mentioning farmers.
What does no tax on crypto mean? No capital gains tax, basically.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Work hard. Thank you, man.
Proud of you. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much.
Nice to great again, Brad. Thank you.
I did it.
The golden age. The golden age is here. Spectacular. Good night, man. Study for your engineering exam, brother.
Good job. Thank you.
Great to see you. Slam dunk.
You're doing good.
Thank you, sir. You did amazing.
We're going to have to get something on Epstein tomorrow. You know, there was something that came out on Epstein. Right after I stopped my stream, Pam Bondi said there was big things, and it pumped the coin a little bit. They said that there was a, I mean, you got something like, wow, this thing tanked with Vance in the background. This is the Vance meme coin. It tanked. But yeah, maybe we'll see some reaction on here. But I mean, it's a pretty typical, basically State of the Union. Oh, this dude.
You let me know. I will. Thank you, sir.
I mean, you knew this was gonna happen with someone trying to make themselves the star of the show, and then it takes like an hour to leave. Like, dude, come on. Like, seriously. Iron Dome around U.S. Well, Trump's talked about that. I mean, it is kind of odd that we don't have the technology to be able to try and protect. I mean, some of the hypersonic missiles you can't protect, but a lot of them you can. And the problem is it's such a bigger area to cover than like Israel with their Iron Dome. It's a much bigger area, the United States. Friend from Iran, it's been a while. Hey man, what's up? Yeah, I remember you, man. I mean, we don't want any issues with Iran, dude. Honestly, we were trying to get out of the Middle East. Epstein stuff is Israel and intelligence, but I mean I think that it's cooked on actually releasing anything crazy of substance and that would implicate Israel. But I was just hoping there's going to be something that pumps the coin. That's what I'm hoping. Did you miss it? You're trolling. I mean, this dude was talking for like 2 hours, bro. Are we allowed to vote to become the 51st state? Who, Canada? Yeah, you could hold something like that. But the Canadian citizens don't want that right now. But listen, what happens is going to be very bad. It's going to be very bad for Canada with these tariffs if they stay in place. ABC announced they're scaling back 538. Well, 538 like lost their website or whatever. Their website is now like tethered to ABC anyways. Are they partnered with them? They went to shit when they did that anyways. My bro, Caitlin's stocks are in the dumps. Help him feel better. What, because of the tariffs? I mean, it's a short-term thing. Tariffs are a short-term thing. Trump's economy is going to be really good in about a year and a half, 2 years. They can't. It's the liberal talking point. Trump's fixing the economy. It takes time. There's huge investment. There's trillions of dollars being invested into the United States in every sector. Trump talked about that tonight. You need to get right with Israel. I love you, but you're wrong not to support Israel. Well, it's just why would me why would I support Israel to the degree? It's just the Middle East has caused the United States so many problems. The idea that we would entangle ourselves there and all we get back is, I mean, we already have military bases in the Middle East anyways. Do we really need intelligence from Israel? Is it really worth it? I just don't. I mean, but this is something we're not going to see eye to eye on, obviously. Canada saying they turn our power off, doubt it. But I mean, it also just goes to show you we need to be more self-sufficient if Canada can turn our power off. But I mean, Canada, it's fine trading with Canada. I've got no issue with it. I think Trump just wants a better trade deal. They said they're going to turn the power off of like Republican areas and stuff. I don't know, man. They're trying to fearmonger Canada is right now to create this mass hysteria. I tweeted about it. That's their only hope, is creating like short-term mass hysteria to where Trump, basically they pressure the American people, and then the American people view tariffs as so unpopular, and Trump says, all right, I'm going to stop this because it's making me way too unpopular. It's just a tariff. It's just like a time game. What do you think about Abdul Carter? I'm not a fan of like taking players that are injured, honestly, but he was out like 8 weeks or something. I don't know. The draft does not seem very good. It's like a funeral on CNN. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's going to be upset about that. Philip DeFranco, the wannabe news little bitch boy, is pissed at Trump, says tariffs will tank the economy because other countries are imposing tariffs back. Well, no, tariffs are going to be a short-term. Did you talk about all the jobs they would bring, or also the money creation through the revenue from tariffs? Did you talk about any of that? He's a dumbass liberal. Naval blockade of Canada. That would get them to join. I mean, the United States could force Canada, but I never wanted Canada to be the 51st state. I mean, we'll see what happens. Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East. That's the one reason they have strong U.S. support. However, that should not be a free pass for them to. Well, it's just. I mean, what does it matter if they're the one democracy? How is that? If we didn't have involvement in Middle Eastern affairs, why would any of those Middle Eastern countries who are 100 times less powerful than us do anything to mess with us? What is the significance of them being the only democracy there? If we don't have involvement, I mean, is a Middle Eastern country going to pick a fight with us? If we don't entangle ourselves in the Middle East, it just, I mean, when you think about it, to me, you have to think about it. What did he say about Ukraine? He said that Zelensky, this was already known before this. He said what was known. What broke today is Zelensky said, I'm ready to do the minerals deal whenever you're ready. So Trump's basically regurgitated what Zelensky said on X, where it's basically Zelensky says, I'm ready to sign the deal, basically saying, I'm sorry, we got off, the White House was a bad visit. And so that's basically what happened. And so he's going to, I think Trump's going to sign the deal, or we'll see. I mean, Trump didn't say anything about it, but maybe there'll be more negotiations, and there's going to have to be a deal. There's going to have to be a deal that gets signed, guys. It has to happen. All right, so he didn't mention NATO at all. He didn't. Yeah, there it is, man. Man, this was, what was it, up to 60%? Ukraine, yes. Transgender, yes. Zelensky, yes. Term limit, no. In review? Did Trump talk about a term limit? DEI. I thought he mentioned it. He mentioned AI, I thought, with the investment of OpenAI. Greenland. Yeah, this was the big winner, Greenland. Imagine I would have bet on Greenland. He didn't say much about the hostages. He didn't really mention either of the wars too much, which, I mean, whether he mentions them or not, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't change the situation. No mention of term limit. Yeah, I mean, the only time it would be mentioned was when I was in the bathroom. I mean, I didn't hear any mention, but it said in review, so I don't know what that is. Crypto. I know there's going to be big crypto announcements on Friday. You put money on China 5 times. I mean, that's pretty good. You got it like 25 cents. Mineral deal is a meme. Well, no, I mean, the mineral deal is happening. We're going to get a 2-for-1. We're going to get a 3-for-1 mineral deal. 3-for-1. Greenland, Ukraine, Russia. 3-for-1 mineral deal. Had to just be AI, not OpenAI. That's bullshit to me. That's crazy. I'd be pissed off if I lost that. Big crypto announcement Friday. They're having an entire summit. They're having a crypto summit. Is the White House having it? It's being done by the Trump administration. Mineral already had like a high chance. Why on earth would he mention Epstein? The thought was that he was going to mention that they had more Epstein files because the first release was such a flop. So he would mention that they have files that Pam Bondi just received and that they're going to be releasing more. That's why he would have mentioned Epstein. I mean, I didn't think he was going to do it, but that's why. NATO not a bad bet. Yeah, I know. I'm surprised he didn't mention NATO, honestly. NATO was at like a 74% chance. Imagine Biden doing the speech. I know. I mean, we saw what happened with Biden. Biden was not as bad as I thought when he did the State of the Union last year, but it's just a night and day with Biden and Trump. It's not even close. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this. Bernie Sanders is streaming his response to the address on X.
Robin Hood principle in reverse. Taking from the poor and giving to the rich and the very, very rich.
People hear that?
And here is something else Trump has been doing. For the past several weeks, he and his good friend Elon Musk, who was up there in the audience tonight, have been throwing hundreds of thousands of federal employees off their jobs. Now, I know some of you are saying, well, that's too bad, but that's the federal government, not me, it's not me, it's just those guys who work for the federal government. But I want you to think about this.
Just useless jobs, it's a waste.
Think about it for a moment. If Musk and his friends can arbitrarily throw federal workers out on the street today, what do you think that Musk and his fellow billionaires will be doing tomorrow when artificial intelligence and robotics explode in this country? Do you think they'll give a damn about you and your families? No, they will treat you exactly
doesn't work
the way
anymore.
they're treating federal employees today. You will be out on the street as well. But it is not only absurd domestic policies that we've got to fight. For the first time in our 250-year history, we have a president who is turning his back on democracy and allying us with authoritarianism. No, we must not abandon the people of Ukraine who were invaded by the Russian dictator Vladimir Putin. We must always stand for democracy, not dictatorship. Let me be very clear. Regardless of where Trump is taking this country, here's what I think and what I believe the American people want us to do. They want us to end a corrupt campaign finance system. Well, golly gee, I didn't hear Mr. Trump talk about that tonight. A corrupt campaign finance system which allows a handful of billionaires to buy elections.
Like George Soros?
It is beyond crazy that someone like Elon Musk can contribute over $270 million to help get Trump elected.
Like Zuckerberg did in 2020 with the Democrats.
To run the government. It is absurd that any member of Congress who stands up to Netanyahu's brutal war in Gaza can expect to be opposed by millions of dollars in campaign contributions coming from AIPAC.
Oh, okay.
The American people want us to end this disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision and move to the public funding of elections. Democracy is supposed to be about one person, one vote, not billionaires buying the political candidates of their choice. And further, no, we should not be giving tax breaks to billionaires. That's not what we should be doing. We must demand that the wealthiest people in this country start paying their fair share of taxes. We must raise the federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour to a living wage of at least $17 an hour. We must make it easier for workers to join trade unions, grow the union movement.
All right, well, this is just scripted now. But yeah, he called out AIPAC there. I mean, I guess the whole thing was scripted, but... Democrats refused to stand for this. Yeah, that was a crazy moment. When he talked about AIPAC, I was like, "Whoa!" You'll get some people on the right that agree with that. Yeah, I mean, but Bernie, it's just like that. It's the same stuff. Democracy, or Ukraine, funding billionaires. It's like, but I mean, it was like a Trump speech to where, I guess that's what they're gonna say about him. Nancy Pelosi trending for crying. Nancy Pelosi was crying about men not being able to play women's sports. What is DJ coin, bro? You keep saying that. fake crying. I mean, it would be fun. I mean, it would be just like you're crying about biological males not being able to scanning network fail. Invest in stock 1A option. Option 1 closed. Glitch mode activated. Add Subway Surf. What is this? What is this? You need Subway Surfers? You gotta be 17. You're 17 years old? Oh, they made a kid after they made a coin after the young kid. Scanning network fail. Market override. Death mode activated. Open new long on NASDAQ. All right, man, you need to stop shilling your coin. Stop shilling your coin, man. Oh, there's another Vance meme. Dude, this JD Vance meta, this is the worst timeline. Official Baron, that's a fake coin. This is the worst timeline, guys. Guys, what about all those people that don't like crypto in the chat? What was with that? There were people in the chat tonight that didn't like crypto very much. Let's just say that. We have to get this widespread. Lance. Yeah, this JD Vance meta is bad, man. This I can't stand this JD Vance meta. This is the worst timeline. Bernie. What about the Pam Bondi coin? That's not even a coin. That's not on there, man. Israel today is not the Israel in the Bible. But yeah, it's a different state that was established in 1948. Yeah, crypto will have its day on Friday. Guys, the crypto summit, imagine I stream the crypto summit. The crypto summit. Barstool, Pizza, Gate Eater. Yeah, he's been rugging people. He needs to stop doing it. I don't think this is his coin, though. You're talking about this Greed 3. Yeah, like, what? This coin, like, launched with $1 million market cap or some shit. This is weird. This coin's, like, manipulated. I don't even think it's his coin. Maybe it is, but it's like, dude, you gotta stop with these, man. You gotta stop with all these launches. Unfortunately, it feels like a bear market. There's, like, barely anything that goes up anymore. What did this go to? Dude, this went to 30 million. I mean, I guess it's not that much, but that would be crazy. There's gonna be another Vance coin. I'm sure that does well. Go find the next Vance coin, bro. You better stream the crypto summit, but it's not even gonna be Trump talking. I mean, is Trump gonna talk at the crypto summit? Israel gets like 1% of what Ukraine. Well, now Israel gets more because they're still being funded, but Ukraine's not. But I mean, they're two different wars. But you are right. Israel gets less money, but it's the involvement in the Middle East that becomes an issue for the U.S. And I mean, look at what happened with Trump. I mean, it puts Trump in harm's way with him assassinating the Iran leader of their defense forces, and now Iran wants to kill Trump. I mean, it's just Middle Eastern entanglement is not something that I don't think a lot of people like anymore, man. And it's just not worth it. We don't need the oil in the Middle East either. That's the thing. It was genuinely a good speech. Yeah, I mean, it was a solid speech. You know, it's a good propaganda thing. You just the JD Vance meta, the worst meta. JD Vance looked like he was ready to fight. Yeah, Mike Johnson looked really pissed off at the beginning when there were people interrupting. He did look really pissed off. Thanks for the stream tonight. Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, so that was like 3.5 hours there, so. Israel isn't buying our weapons. We're sending them money for free. I mean, we're basically sending money to Ukraine as well. That whole thing that liberals do, oh, they're buying our weapons. Yeah, but that's just military-industrial complex with Ukraine. Same shit. It's an allocation of money to Ukraine. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this live stream. Trump did his speech. It was a solid speech.
The hardest thing was doing it during Biden, when the speech was a stupid campaign speech.
The hardest was doing it with Biden. That's what he said. You think Trump gave Gaza for America to prosper? Well, I think that hopefully Trump doesn't do any developments in Gaza. I think Trump's going to allow the Arab states to develop Gaza, if I had to guess. All right, guys. Yeah, I mean, I'll be definitely be streaming that Friday. I'll try and keep streaming every day. I'll try and keep it going. I mean, at some point it might stop, but minerals deal tomorrow. Yeah, hopefully the minerals deals tomorrow. Hopefully we get a 3-for-1. We want a 3-for-1 deal. It's Greenland, Ukraine, Russia, all minerals deal. But the minerals deal with Ukraine is probably going to be tomorrow, or I mean, Trump hinted at it happen. I mean, with Zelensky, Zelensky wants to do it, so the minerals deal is going to happen. Cal Ripken streak. I know this is next level, bro. This is a remarkable streak I'm on right now.